Geraldo is an extremely powerful hero in BTD6 that has a crazy useful shop, but it is pretty hard to use, so let's take a look at how to use it. The first item in Geraldo's shop is the Shooty turrets. These are very useful for the early game and also have a surprising use in the late game too. The Shooty turrets have a lot of pierce and can do 2 damage, so they're going to be great in the early game taking out big rounds of Bloons. And they also have an upgraded version that they can be spammed in the late game that will do work too. The next item is the stack of old nails, which can be used to clutch up. This one isn't commonly used in Chimps mode because generally you don't want to waste a lot of money on a simple wasteful item like this that won't really be able to do a whole lot, but on some expert maps they can be used out well. The big thing to note is that they get level ups. The second level up isn't that good, but the third level up can even delete whole DDTs, which is strong. Then the next item is the creepy idol. This one is an item that is seriously underrated and you can use it very effectively in all sorts of games. When you spam all 4 of them for a very cheap price, mind you, you can do a lot of work to tricky rounds in the early game and mid game and late game, such as round 63 for example, where you can completely break up the wave into one kind of half-sized chunk and then scattered around the rest. Then later on it will be able to stun mobs and even apply concoction to mobs, which is something that a lot of people don't even know. The next item is Pickle, which is a very useful item for the early game particularly. It will be great for towers that have 1 or 2 damage, but higher than that it's not really going to be worth it. So like this tax zone for example, it will be able to do more damage with Pickle than without. But you need to keep in mind that when you're going to be giving buffs to your towers in late game, the Pickle would then no longer be worth it, as that tax zone now has 7 or 8 damage with all the buffs. However, in the early game it is still very useful because a lot of the towers that you're going to be buffing will only have 1 damage, so you typically use it more so in the early game, not in the late game. If you found these tips useful, I have a full guide on how to use Geraldo in the related video section, so check that out.